Hello, everyone, and welcome to Those Working Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture fandoms, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Christine.
And today we're going to be digging into Taylor Swift's humongous news. She owns all of her masters.
So exciting. This dropped on Friday, and we just have so many feelings. There's so much to talk about there. But first, as always, we have a buttload of Snap Crackle pop culture news because we were off last week. We missed some exciting things. Of course, Today in Taylor Swift is basically the entire episode. So,
yeah.
But briefly, Today in Taylor Swift, outside of that, she was spotted at dinner with Selena last night or 2 nights ago. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, Selena Gomez. I think it was in New York City. And then before that, last week, I had Today in Taylor Swift saying that she was spotted leaving a restaurant in Florida. Boom, 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 with Travis. And that's the non-masters news for Taylor Swift. We'll get to her. But do you have news that you'd like to share, Natasha?
Yeah, okay.
So much.
There's a lot. Marvel pushed back the dates for Avengers. So it was meant to come out next May, the first one, Doomsday. It got pushed to Christmas, and Secret Wars also got pushed to Christmas.
Interesting.
And now Doomsday is going to be out on the same day that Dune Messiah is out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to see Doomsday over Dune Messiah.
Yeah, we'll be seeing both.
I bet those audiences do really cross over. So,
yeah. But I knew, it seemed too quick. Like they just started filming like a month ago, and they have to get a movie out in less than a year. Then after that,
yeah,
point.
I'm glad they're giving themselves more time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting having a
thing.
Marvel movie though during Christmas. We haven't had one like Avengers.
Yeah, because they usually come out in May.
Mm-hmm. It's a summer flick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What else do you have for us?
So much. Huge Survivor news. We were all waiting with bated breath for Survivor season 50, the cast. All right. Since season 40, I've been looking forward to season 50 because Jeff Probst, after season 40, which was all winners, like winners only, were in that cast. Okay. He was like, we're not having any returning players back till season 50. And I was like, are you kidding? 10 seasons? Because returning players are my favorite seasons because they know what they're doing. So there's so much drama and so much like strategy. And it's so fun because everyone's at the top of their game. So I love returning seasons. And there's so many people that never got to return from the 30s seasons because they didn't have many returning seasons there. And season 40 was all winners. So any of the people that didn't win couldn't come back. All right. So the finale episode of Survivor that day was like 2 Wednesdays ago. And leading up to that, they were like, Wednesday, we're announcing the cast of Survivor season 50. Keep in mind, it's the finale of season 48. So there's still a season of Survivor left to air. Before this season. Survivor 50 will air in February of 2026. Okay. But it comes the day of the finale, and about to watch Survivor. I'm so excited to watch the finale and get the cast of season 50 when that right during that episode, the commercial was like, the cast of season 50 will be coming next week on Good Morning America on Wednesday. So they specifically said Wednesday without a date to make us think that it was going to happen during the season 48 finale.
Oh.
But it would have overshadowed it, and I understand why, but like that was evil marketing. Anyway, all right, season 50 cast. This was a huge one because it was rumored that Mike White was going to come back, but everyone was like, he's making the White Lotus. There's no way he's going to come back. Because if you don't know Survivor lore, Mike White was on season 37, David versus Goliath, an amazing season. He made it all the way to the final 3, okay? And he loves Survivor. He's also been on The Amazing Race. And he's coming back for season 50.
I couldn't believe this. I was like, wait, what?
I know. And it's kind of crazy because he was already like super successful in the Hollywood world. You just didn't know about him because he's behind the scenes more, writing and directing and stuff. Mm-hmm. But now he's hyper successful. Like no one's going to give that man $1 million. So he's there for purely entertainment reasons. And he is going to bring in a whole new audience. I guarantee it. I already see people on Twitter being like, oh my God, I have to watch Survivor now because White Lotus. And like, you don't know if you don't know Survivor lore, but the people from his season have showed up in every season of the White Lotus. They're always there making cameos.
I forgot about that.
So, like, he has so much bartering power to be like, hey, keep me in the game and you'll get on season 4 of the White Lotus. It's just wild. Like, the reason he didn't win last time, it's like he made it to the final 3, but no one's going to give that man $1 million. He's already really wealthy. So it's going to be an interesting social experiment. For people who love Survivor, Colby from season 2, these are the highlights. Colby from season 2, Australia is coming back. They're not bringing back Jerry, though. How can they bring back Colby without his nemesis, Jerry? I don't know. I'm upset about that casting. So Colby's coming back. From Mike White's season, Christian's coming back, the scientist, who I loved, and Angelina, who I also loved, who was like, can I have your jacket? To everybody who got off, who got voted off. She would be like, can I have your jacket? And they're like, fuck no. But she was cold. Okay, from the latest season, Joe, Kyle, and Camila are coming back, which is wild because they are 3 of the final 4. Coach, the infamous Coach, the Dragon Slayer, is coming back. Rick Devens, who was really fun, and I think it was season 38, I want to say. And he's the sports announcer or news announcer. He was really fun. Aubrey, one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite players ever, coming back. Sari is coming back for her 5th, I think, I want to say 5th or 6th time playing. I'm really pulling for her. Ozzy's coming back. And Charlie the Swiftie from, I believe, season 47 is coming back.
A lot of like early people, like from the latest seasons.
No, actually, there's way more new era, but I'm telling you about the early people because...
No. I mean from the new seasons. Like you just said 48 and 47, like a bunch.
Oh, yeah. No, there's 12. So there's 24 players, the most players that have ever played Survivor in one season. And there are 12 from the last 9 seasons and then 12 from the 40 before it. So it's imbalanced.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm really excited about Camila, too. She was fantastic, and I wanted her to win the most recent season. I'm excited in general. Returning seasons are great. Like, a lot of people are like, they didn't cast this person, they didn't cast this person. And, yeah, it's upsetting that not as many people from the older seasons got cast, and people in the 30s kind of got looked over. But it's going to be great no matter how you caught it. And they're out right now. They left the day after this was announced for Fiji.
Oh,
so exciting. All right, Natasha, what else you got for us?
Kieran Culkin was cast as Caesar Flickerman. Did we talk about that?
I think we mentioned that he was looked at as being cast, but it wasn't official yet.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what was super cool? They announced the release date for Stranger Things is going to be on Christmas, and that the finale will drop on New Year's Eve.
No.
Was that fake?
Part 1 is coming Thanksgiving. Part 2 is coming Christmas, and the finale is coming on New Year's Eve.
Okay. So I saw a headline that was not explaining this correctly.
Yeah, so you didn't watch the whole like to dumb like
yeah. I didn't want to be spoiled.
There really wasn't anything to be spoiled. So Netflix had their big to doom whatever announcing like
everything
event
coming up. Yeah.
And Netflix, I mean, Stranger Things is their biggest title, right? Like, it's coming 4 years later or 3 years later.
Season 5, the final season.
Yeah. And the little showcase that they showed was a lot of clips from the previous seasons leading up. And so it had, like, this big montage of previous seasons and like showing us like what we've seen before. And then it showed Stranger Things 5 and it said volume 1 da, 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 Thanksgiving, volume 2 da, 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 Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, one of those. and then we're like, okay, and then da 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 finale, New Year's Eve, and everyone's like, wow.
I bet it's gonna be like a movie length finale.
Oh, they're gonna be. I think volume 1 and volume 2 are probably gonna be like one episode each. They're just gonna be huge,
like big movies.
Yeah.
I hope it's like 3 episodes each after all this time, but I guess we'll see. But I'm excited to have a date. Like, it's been a long time with no date. Mm-hmm. And now we can put it in our calendars.
Yes. They did show clips from the new season, but it was like minimal. It was like people screaming and running. That was about it.
Okay. I saw like one new like shot and I was like, ah! Another thing that we got a date for was season 2 of Nobody Wants This. It dropped yesterday that it's going to come out October 23rd of this year.
Oh.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Exciting. I'm pumped. They've wrapped filming. The cast did this really colorful photo shoot and I saw a bunch of reels of behind the scenes from it that was giving the Friends photo shoot vibes from the 90s, and it was making me feel so nostalgic. Like, it was super colorful and it was like all their heads together, it reminded me of the Friends photo shoot with the Sundays and the Friends photo shoot where they're all laying on the bed together,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was making me nostalgic.
I didn't see it.
All right, other things.
Okay, so Last of Us is coming back for season 3. Alex and I watched the show and we watched the finale and it didn't feel like the finale. We thought we had like
Natasha was like, oh yeah, we're watching The Last of Us and talking about how there'll be more. And I was like, I saw everyone talking about how the finale just aired though.
I feel bamboozled. Like it was literally like not even the first part of the game. Like they're of game number 2. Like they're really going to stretch out this number 2 game because there's only 2 of them, right? So it was like we went over 3 days in Seattle. That was the entire season. Was 3 days in Seattle plus some flashbacks.
Wild.
And then the next season is going to be 3 days in Seattle, but from somebody else's point of view. Because that's how the game works.
Interesting.
And then there's more after that. So I'm like, are we going to have a season 4? Will that be the finale? Wait. Yeah, because season 3 will be coming. And then will season 4 be the finale? Or will they stretch it out even more?
Don't know, because I haven't played it all. But that's crazy. The Bear got a release date too. It's coming June 25th, which is very soon. Then that'll be season 4. And then Squid Game is also coming back at the end of this month. So we've got a lot coming in June, like The Bear and Squid Game. And I will be on deadline.
Wait, when is Summer I Turn Pretty coming back?
July.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm on a strict writing schedule to finish a book by June 30th. So I'm sad that these are going to drop and I'm not going to be able to immediately binge them. But I guess I'll have more. I'm going to have so much in July. I'm going to be like, everything I missed for an entire month.
Okay. Something that we didn't talk about like last time that you put back in here is we never talked about J-Law and R-Patz at Cannes.
Oh, Cannes.
Cannes Film Festival.
Cannes. I thought it was Cannes.
There is no, it's not Cannes. It's like Cannes. There's no S. Cannes Film Festival.
All right.
I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good about saying it that way.
Well, they were on the red carpet together, and Robert Pattinson was stepping on her dress in the pictures, and it was so funny. So Robert Pattinson. He was like, oh, and he got up like a maid of honor and like moved her dress.
Well, just the two of them together is... Well, so we did report on the fact that they were doing this movie together. And now it's come to fruition, and we saw a scene of them crawling around in a meadow. And
like
it was
lions.
Like Katniss and Edward.
Yeah. The collide of two huge franchises of our youth, of our seminal years. We're crawling around and like nuzzling each other like lions, like cats in a meadow, which is like very Twilight coded.
Yes. And the fact that they're both really weird people, so it makes a lot of sense.
They're both quirky people, and seeing them in any interview clips was also very funny. Mm-hmm. I feel like Jen felt very tame in all of these clips because Rob was being so weird. She had to like straight man him.
Which is interesting because she's usually the weird one.
But she was grounding Rob. Like there's this one clip where she's like, "Can you take these off your pants?" And he looks down and he's like, "Oh my God, I thought you were pointing my penis was out." Like the dynamic between them's fun. So if you miss those clips, go find them on your favorite social media app and you'll have a good laugh.
There's also like after the film premiered, they like yelled in each other's faces. You can't really hear it, but they go like, "Ah!"
Well, there's also after the premiere, there's a standing ovation and there's a zoom in on Rob's face and he's like makes like 100 different faces. He's just like sitting still while everyone stands. And she's like, "Ooh, huh? Huh?" Like he doesn't know how to react and he's just like being dumb and silly, and it's really funny. All right, another thing happening is my fourth book, 30 Flirty and Forever Alone, is available for pre-order now. Woo! It is going to be out November 11th, 2025, and it will be coming in ebook form and hard copy. It'll be a softcover book, but it'll be in hard copy and it'll be an audiobook. And the audiobook just went up on the site for pre-order. It wasn't there before. So if you were looking for the audiobook, that is happening. I haven't heard anything about audiobook narrators yet, but they don't usually record the audiobook till pretty close to release. So there's still time on that. But it is an adult rom-com, and it is about a woman who is about to turn 30. She always felt like she would find her person. Not felt like. It was one of her goals. She was like, okay, find your person by 30 so that you can get married by this age. You know how we mentally do that in our youth. Mm-hmm. And so she has 2 weddings coming up literally the weekend of her 30th birthday. And she's like, okay, I'm going to bring a +1 to both of these weddings because I'm going to be with my person by then. And so she spends the next 6 months being a crazy person on the dating apps, trying to find her person very persistently. And it comes time for the weddings and she still hasn't found someone. So she goes into them very annoyed with manifesting in the universe and all that stuff. And then she meets somebody at the second wedding and then things happen. So it's a fun time. It's like, it's a rom-com. I don't know what else to say without spoiling. So yeah.
Crazy Ex meets
27
Dresses.
It's giving 27 Dresses meets Crazy Ex-Girlfriend vibes. So yeah, pre-order is available. Links in the description, or you can just go Google pre-order 30 Flirty Forever Alone. It'll pop up. And I really, really appreciate that because pre-orders are very important to an author's career and to release. So if you want to support me or any other author that you like, pre-ordering their stuff really helps them out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do it.
And reviewing the stuff that you have read. If you've read Attached to the Hip and enjoyed it, reviewing it on whatever platform you devoured it, super, super helpful. So thank you so much if you've taken a second to review it if you enjoyed it. And it's on Spotify now.
So I have sewing courses coming up. I'm super excited. Like in less than a month, it's June. June 22nd is the basic sewing course that I have coming up. If you are interested in learning how to begin your sewing journey,
yes.
It's going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours long over Zoom. A live class. It will be recorded. So if you would like to have it, if you've already purchased tickets, you just have to email me and I'll send you the recording. If you can't make it, the recording will be up on my website for you to purchase as well. It'll just be a little bit more like a higher price. And then I have a intro to corsetry class coming in August. And I'm really excited about that one because I love to teach people like my tips and tricks and how I make things easier, better, faster, and stronger. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited about that one too. Those are all up on my website, natashapolis.com, under webinars and workshops. And you can go there and get them. If you want to purchase both classes, use the code CLASS10OFF. Patrons have their own code. It is shared in the group chat now in the Patreon. So
cool.
Yes. And you can stack them if you're a Patreon member.
Nice.
Okay, next we are holding a giveaway for Bridgerton ball tickets.
Yes.
This ball specifically is being held in Riverside, California on June 21st. If you guys would like to go, we will have a giveaway post probably up on our Instagram.
Yeah. It's not there yet, but in the next week, we'll have Chloe working on posting that. But yeah, if you're in the California area and you're looking for a Bridgerton ball, there is one happening in Riverside, and one of our listeners is throwing it.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Okay. And then lastly, we're going to Romance Con.
Yes, we are.
And Romance Con is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on September 5th and 6th. And Christine will be there with the table. She'll be signing books. We have a live podcast with special author guests. And we need to tell them which authors we want on the thing.
Oh my God. We need to do that or else we're not going to get them.
I know. And there's a lot of authors going there, like Christina Lauren, Anna Todd, Julie, and Sierra.
No, they're not. Julie's not going this year.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
right.
there's
She's
someone else that was going, though, that I can't remember that we know. Because I know there's 3 people that we know that we were like trying to maybe get on the panel.
Yeah. But lots of fun authors. And we're hopefully going to have our merch there. So
we'll see about that. Yeah. But I'm definitely going to be there as an author too. So you can get books signed, and the table time is like a big chunk of time where all the authors are out at their tables and you go around and, find whoever you're excited about and talk to them about their books and all that stuff. So it's really cool. Mm-hmm. There's lots of panels and we're going to have meetups. So it's going to be a crazy weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm excited.
Me too. All right. And last but not least. Oh, well, I just wanted to mention, we did an episode about the male loneliness epidemic like maybe a month and a half ago. And I saw this really good reel talking about how men are like one of the reasons why it's harder for them to communicate and like be empathetic with other people is because like they mostly read nonfiction. Like many men only read nonfiction.
Yeah.
And the way that we develop empathy for other types of people, like deep empathy, is reading in their head in fiction novels, So, and that we've talked about this so much over the years, like reading is how you develop empathy and how you like really feel and understand what other people that are not like you are going through. And I just found this reel so poignant because I do know I meet so many men who are like, oh yeah, I read. And I'm like, what kind of stuff? And they're like, nonfiction. And they never put themselves in like a woman's head. So it's also like harder for them to understand how to relate to or understand like just the day-to-day life of women. And meanwhile, we put ourselves in literally anyone's head all the time. We've read so many books from male perspectives, and they don't do the same. And that's sad, and also causing a lot of the lack of understanding, the female species and the female plight.
I know. And I think even too, if men are reading fiction, they're reading a male author.
Yeah.
Not very often men are actually we're reading books by females.
Mm-hmm. And I know we read a lot of romance. We read a lot by women now, but I grew up reading all books about men, about men and boys.
It was interesting because we just had this conversation at beauty school. We were talking about all the classic books that we read in high school, and I was going through it. I'm like, okay, well, there's The Great Gatsby, Of Mice and Men. The only one that I read that was a female was Pride and Prejudice.
I didn't even read that till college when I took a women in fiction course.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they were all about men. I don't think there was one novel that was centered around a female that was our age, when we were growing up. Maybe The Giver, was that a boy? That was a boy too.
It was a boy. I didn't get to read that one.
I read Number of the Stars in 5th grade, and I loved it so much because it followed a little girl in the Holocaust, and it was just really, really moving and really nice to see a female. I don't think I even understood that it was so nice to see a female main character, but I think that's one of the only ones that I read with a female main character. Until Twilight. Legit. because I obviously there was Potter and loved it. And growing up, and then there was Dan Brown and Robert Langdon.
Did you read The Crucible or Scarlet
I read the
Letter?
Scarlet Letter, but that was very male,
very
feeling.
male gazy,
male gazy. Yeah,
and
it was very much about... she's a whore.
Yeah. Good God.
So anyway, yeah, I feel like getting little boys to read books about both male and female protagonists and raising the new generation to kind of not have that stigma of I only mean me, that. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a very prominent thing.
They don't even know. And a lot of this, Scarlet Letter and The Crucible is a lot about violence towards women, too.
Yeah, I never read The Crucible because my teacher didn't have us do that.
I did. Shot says A Little Princess is the only classic with a female main character that comes to mind. I love that book. I feel like this is an entire discussion on its own, so we should probably stop.
All right.
Put it down in our ideas.
Put it down for a future episode. Okay, let's move on to what right now. So, Natasha, what have you been reading?
I finished Dark Lover.
Oh,
Yay.
That's the Black Dagger Brotherhood.
The Black Dagger Brotherhood by
What
J.R.
if it
Ward.
was the Black Dagger Loverhood?
I mean, it kind of is. Okay, my thoughts on the book were that I enjoyed it. The audiobook is actually really good if you guys want to read it. It is of its time. So I have to preference that, there's a lot of essay going on, a lot of those cliche tropes. It was written in 2005, I think, or written in 2003, published in 2005. And it was that. It was it's everyone's first, a lot of people's first, I guess, paranormal segue into the romance world. And we follow Wrath and Beth, and I had a good time. I had a great time. I love vampires. I love sexy vampires. It's not the most profound thing you're going to read, I can tell you that. But I'm excited to continue on the series because everyone tells me that it gets even better. So I want to know what that is. But I know we're going to be following each one of the brothers and their arcs. And there's some very interesting brothers. And I'm how are these people going to find love? So
nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then I'm reading Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood.
As am I.
I got the chapter 3.
I am probably toward the end of chapter 3 now, or maybe I'm on chapter 4. Are her chapters long? Like, I just forget to pay attention once I'm in it. I got into it last night, and I was like, you are not allowed to read this right now, because I had to plan the podcast for today. I'm 17% of the way. I have 5 pages left in this chapter. Okay, I'm on chapter 7, so yeah, I got further.
Wow, you did get further.
But yeah, it takes place in Italy, and we're following Maya, and Maya is 23. She, I think, recently graduated her master's, and she is she's crushing on, not crushing, she really, I think she's in love with Connor Harkness, who doesn't really want anything to do with her because of the age gap, and he's 38, and he's her brother's best friend.
Yeah, so he thinks of her
business partner. Yeah, he thinks of her like a child, and he often will be like, how's school? Just to like kind of push the idea that like we are not in the same realm.
And they're not.
They're not. But we want them to get together because it's called Problematic Summer Romance.
I'm not even going to talk about, I feel like I don't want to like spoil anything, but I was not expecting a certain like character in the first chapter to be there. A type of character.
What character?
That he's seeing somebody.
He's not.
What?
He's not. We find out a chapter later that he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know, that's what I was thinking too, but they broke up months ago.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All
so
right.
there's no like, he's not attached.
Okay, because I was like, this is getting even more problematic.
He's a single man. Yeah, no, I was happy that they're not actually attached. Yeah, they introduce a character in the first chapter, and we're led to believe that he is dating that character, but actually she's an ex, a recent ex. All right. I also was rereading Great Big Beautiful Life, and I love it. And I'm still rereading it via audiobook, but it's like I put it on when I'm anxious and I just listen to it because I'm rereading it and I don't have to like fully pay attention, but I want to pay attention. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What have you been watching?
Okay, I gotta talk about this. So I got to watch Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It is out today. I can't remember if it's being dropped episode per week or if it's all out at once. I feel like it's all out at once. It's on Passionflix. I do have a code if you guys want it. It's BDB Natasha for 20% off your first month on Passionflix. But if you want to watch the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, it was just like the books. I was actually kind of like, I was like, wow, like every scene is scene for scene. I kind of wish they changed it, like the little like essay portions of the film or of the story, but they didn't.
Every time you say essay, I think you're saying essay, like writing an essay. Should we just tell people just in case they don't know?
Well, essay, okay.
Or
it's kind of like triggering for people.
Okay. Well,
that's why
it's like the
say
letters S and A, just so people,
yes,
if you don't know.
Yes. So just be aware of that. But it's hot. It's steamy. The people, the actors that they got for all these, for at least for Wrath, he is exactly what I would have pictured in my head.
Is he the sunglasses guy?
He's the sunglasses guy with the long dark hair. But at the end of the episode, like, it's Passionflix. There's a whole sex scene. I was like, whoa. I did not expect both of them to get super naked. There was no full frontal, okay? But like, I was like, okay. So I'm excited for the whole season. And I want to see what else they do. I feel like Passionflix has a small budget, but I think what they did with that budget is pretty impressive. And I am excited to see, you know, how popular this gets and if like maybe season 2 will get even better.
Nice. That's exciting. I'm glad that you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Especially like right off the book, because it's hard when you just finish a book and you watch an adaptation.
Yeah.
It usually really highlights the stuff that's different and not.
Yeah, it is. And it is. JR has even said that, when she writes, she sees pictures in her head, and that everything about the show is exactly how she saw it.
That's amazing. That's the dream.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I watched Survivor. You know what I've been watching, though, the past few days during all my breaks? Heartstopper. And I haven't rewatched it. And it's just like the cutest thing I've ever seen. I'm on season 2 now. And like I had one day that I took off in between handing in draft 4 and starting back to my first draft of book 5. And I just spent the morning like on the couch watching Heartstopper, and it gave me all the happy feels. And then by the night, I was just like all inspired to go back to writing. So it really works taking a mental break for at least like 14 hours. Because it makes you excited to come back to your work instead of feeling like you're burned out.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Movies. Did you watch any movies?
I did. I went to the theater and I saw Mission Impossible.
Oh, shit.
And it wasn't as good as the others. You guys know how much I love the Mission Impossible movies. And it was still really good, obviously. Like, Tom Cruise is great and he does all of his own stunts and it's crazy and all that. But definitely not as good as it has been, because it was like technically the last one, and so I don't feel like it was as fun. Like, it was more like sad.
All right.
They like killed off a character and it was like his last hurrah. It was just like it also took itself way too seriously.
Yeah, at this point it has to be self-aware.
Yeah. There was like the whole point of it was that this like scary AI was taking over the world's nuclear bombs, and like they were going to set them, like the AI was going to set it off and like destroy the world. And so and Tom was the only one.
That's what happens in the 100.
Yeah. And Tom was the only one who could stop it. And so like there was like this whole point like where the president is involved, and it's I can't think of her name right now, but like she was so serious. It was just very serious.
Frank, the Mission Impossible was so mid. That Mission Impossible was so mid. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that it was mid. That sucks.
Yeah.
I watched The Broken Hearts Gallery, which Natasha recommended a while ago, and I finally watched it. It was really cute, and it was like clearly written by like someone who was in their 20s, which I thought was really cool. It was really creative, and the formatting was really fun. Jokes were really fresh and fun. I had a good time. The love interest is the mean kid, the mean brother who dies in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it was so weird for me. Like, I would get on board and then I'd get off board because his accent would accidentally slip. And I'd be like, dude, you're confusing me.
Did you like it though?
I did. I really enjoyed it. It was just him that I was like sometimes on and off with. But everything about it was so cute, and the script was excellent, and had a lot of fun with it. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I forgot we're talking about Taylor Swift today, so I think we should just wrap up and get started. But
yeah.
are you good with that?
I'm good.
All right. We're going to get into the main discussion, but first, we got to take a second and thank all of you out there listening. We appreciate you so much. And we couldn't do this without our listeners. If you don't know, we have a Patreon, and we are a Patreon supported podcast. So if you'd like to join that community, we'd love to have you. And we have lots of fun perks. The most consistent being our Fangirl Tea Time episodes every single week. At the end of the episodes that our Patreons get, there's a whole half an hour extra show where we basically have story time and we talk about deeper topics, things that maybe we wouldn't want to say on the regular show because it's too intimate, but we have fun forming, sharing with our Patreon community. So that is available in the show notes, patreon.com/thoseforkingfangirls. The first tier is only $5 a month, and you can do a 7-day free trial, test it out. And with that first tier, you get Fangirl Tea Time. You get to come to recordings and have your 2 cents during our discussions in the chat, and you get the show ad free. So that's really cool. And you can also, for free, follow the show in your favorite podcast listening app. If you're not already, we'd love it if you follow the show for free in your favorite podcast listening app. That doesn't require very much at all, and it really helps support us. You can do that obviously in like Spotify or Pocket Cast or Apple Music, wherever you like the show. Or if you like the visual show, hello, we are on YouTube, youtube.com/@thoseforkingfangirls, and you can subscribe for free there and get the show delivered to you every single week, and that really helps us out too. So we love y'all. We are really grateful for you being here, and if you love the show, we'd love it if you took a second to rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast listening app.
I was just going to say, we are at 737 reviews or rates on Spotify.
Nice.
So that's like 263 more until we hit 1,000.
So if you want to help us get there, it's really easy to rate on Spotify. You just click 5 stars. You're good.
We had to figure out something like fun to do once we hit like 1,000.
I know.
Like,
well,
pie each other in the faces.
Pieing. Yeah, like I said, the pieing is always there. All right. We are going to move into the main discussion. If you're a patron, we're rolling right on in. If not, we will be right back after these messages. All right, we are back, and we're talking about Taylor Swift today, and I'm so excited. Taylor is free. Taylor's music is hers, all right? So it dropped on Friday morning that Taylor Swift had bought back all of her masters, all of her music videos, all of the concert videos for
I didn't understand that at first.
You didn't?
No, I thought it was just like her music. I was like, oh, it's everything.
It's everything is hers again. And she bought it back from Shamrock Capital for $360 million. Now, if you weren't following this before, with Scooter Braun, he sold her masters to Shamrock Capital for $300 million. And in the lead up to this announcement, there were leaks saying that Scooter was pushing for Shamrock to sell the masters back to Taylor for $600 million to $1 billion.
Oh.
Yeah. And Shamrock sold it to her for $360 million, which is very reasonable. So they made a $60 million profit, where Scooter was pushing them to sell it to her for up to $1 billion.
Yeah, to make like what is that? Well, double the profit is $600
so much
million.
Profit, and
3-4 times the profit.
When I saw the amount, I was like, "Ha fool! They didn't listen to you."
So, can we go back through? So, big
machine,
big red machine, right? Or is it just big machine?
There's something with red too. Yeah, big. Yeah,
they
sold her masters to Scooter Braun
in 2019.
I think it was in. Yeah, one of those years. They've all blended now after the pandemic. Yeah, and he sold it to Shamrock, and Shamrock has owned them. But this is the thing. So when I see that number, 360 million, even it looks low to me for Taylor Swift's music. But I wonder if maybe they weren't making enough of a profit off of it because all of us Swifties are so loyal and not listening to those albums and not streaming them and such. Like, they have like a dark mark on them. And I wonder if they thought that they'd make more of a profit just selling them to her.
I don't think
if
so.
It's a fan, and they were like, let's give them to her.
I think, I mean, they only had it for what, less than a year?
No, it's been like 5 years.
Wait, Shamrock has had it for 5 years?
I don't know. It's just been a while.
But I thought Scooter sold it like a while ago. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I mean, this isn't the important part, but like the fact that they sold it to her for such a reasonable price, like she was like, I feel like this is so fair and I'm so happy with it that I could tattoo a shamrock on my forehead right now.
It's sad that she has to say like this is fair when it is her work that she's literally purchasing back.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a combination of the fact that they weren't as profitable as they were expecting it to be because of what she did, you know, putting out Taylor's versions, and also that they probably feel shitty because she's gone on this whole campaign to tell it. Everybody knows what's happening. It's not like a secret, like a lot of this music industry stuff ends up being. She has put them all out in the light, but yeah, so this past Friday, May 30th, will forever be known, I feel like, as Taylor Swift Independence Day. And she put out a post, like, holding all her albums on the floor with, like, a white backdrop and, like, lifting her hands in victory. And she was like, go read the letter on my website. And I think we all went to her website to see this size 8 letter that you had to like zoom in and go from side to side on your phone to read.
Oh my God. I was sitting in class in the morning, and I was on Threads because I was trying to post about my workshops on Threads, and I never go on there. And all I see is like our friends like Francis and like my friend Blake like talk about like Taylor bought her music back, and I'm like, oh fuck, what? And so then I had to go to her Instagram and see, and then I literally sat there and I was like, guys, Taylor brought her music back, and everyone's like, oh cool. I'm like, damn.
Okay, this was the day that my book was due, so I had gone to bed really late and I was getting up early to finish it, and then I saw it 10 minutes after it had been posted. I was like, what's happening? It was the first thing I did with my phone. Like, you know, when you're half asleep, you pick up your phone and you're like, Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I instantly was like, oh shit, I gotta post about this. So I go and I'm reading it like with my one, you know, when you wake up you have one eye open and you're scrolling your phone with one eye. Do you do that on your side?
Yes, I do.
And I'm reading her like 0.8 font with my one eyeball. I try to get the Spark Notes to post about it. Like, oh my God. But it was both exciting and sad at the same time, because this is going to lead us into like, we have to talk about rep. We've literally been clowning for over a year for a lot of our favorite album is Reputation, right? And I think a lot of people who didn't have their favorite album as Reputation after the Eras tour, their favorite album was Reputation. Because maybe they just weren't as on board with T Swift at that time. But it's so good. And it is about falling in love with Joe, like the majority of it. So I do feel like there's like, she did say in the letter that it's the only album she feels like cannot be improved upon, and that she has less than a quarter of it re-recorded, and that every time she tried, she hit a stopping point because that time was so unique in her life, like the angst she was feeling at being misunderstood and the anger and all that stuff. But also, it is the only album about Joe that was not owned by her. And that's still raw, I'm sure, because it's her latest and longest relationship. Not latest because we had Maddie, but like it was a very long relationship.
Yeah. What were your like initial thoughts? Like, were you excited?
No.
When you saw it?
And I'm sad that I wasn't. I was, but I was sad. This is what I really just want her to finish the project.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, I feel like we should see it through at this point, but like just release them as exciting re-releases with new tracks.
It just sounds like she doesn't want to re-record Rep
Yeah.
But she said that she's like, if you want to see the vault tracks.
Well, she said that if this is something you're interested in, like, obviously we're all interested. Like, we've been waiting so hard for so long. And she said that they will come a time where they will hatch. She used the word hatch. And she said that she has recorded all of Debut. She's very happy with it. But then she said, and she loves how it sounds. And she said that maybe there'll come a time for these two albums to have their day in the sun. But if that happens, that it'll be a celebration instead of like a sadness. But she said, if that happens, why would she say that? Why were you saying if it happens?
I don't know.
Because like we supported all of this so hard. Mm-hmm. Why would you just not give it to us?
I know. I'm trying to see if the chat says anything. Nicole said, not gonna lie, I was very happy for her, but I was so excited for Rep TV. LOL, I really hope that she still releases the vault tracks. I actually think that her trying to re-record Rep gave us TTPD, the Yin Yang albums to me, Tamara says.
I think it gave us all of her, all of the emotions she's been going through since midnight, too. Like, everything we've seen, like, I think it fueled her to do the Eras tour.
I mean, this is correct, okay? Because I feel like when her masters were sold, like a fire was lit under her ass, and she had this like vendetta to prove to herself, right?
Yeah.
Where she wanted to re-release them, like have everything be her own, prove to herself that like she is this like fearsome thing to behold, that she can I just feel like it was a big like prove herself to the world moment. And then the pandemic happened. Well, the pandemic happened, which I think escalated it because she was sat with herself. We got Folklore, we got Evermore, and then we finally got, you know, the re-releases of the albums within that phase. And then that's when everyone was like, oh, what if we just, because it kind of started this spark of people being like, what if we just have a tour finally? Like, how are we supposed to how are we supposed to have a tour of Lover, Folklore, and Evermore when now we have all these new re-releases and we want to sing all these songs together? And then now all of a sudden the Eras tour is done. She bought her music back. And then we don't get to finish out this project. It does feel like, wait, hold on a second. We were here for you for all of this. Like I want to see what you've been working on this whole time.
Yeah. No, it feels like a group project that we didn't get any say in, like ending early, even though it was hers. She kind of called on us. Like that's what it felt like in the re-releases, you know, like to help her reclaim her music. And we did. And I think she's going to give it to us. I just wish that there wasn't all this mystery around it. I wish that, like, because she bought them back, she immediately was like, here's Debut, you know? Like, she reclaimed her name and her reputation. You know what I mean? Because, the project was so that she could reclaim her music and own all of her music. And re-recording all of her music gave her so much perspective. And that's, I think, also what we see in Evermore. Like, there's a lot of looking back on different relationships that she's been in throughout her life. And I think we got Evermore because she had started going back and re-recording her music. And that's what I think inspired the Eras tour and all of the things we've seen. And I know she's going to give them to us. And Chrissy, she said hatch like Easter egg, like those vault tracks will hatch. Yeah. I mean, she's going to give them to us, But I want her to just give us dates. Like, I'm done guessing. I don't want to clown anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like that should be done. The clowning for the albums should be over. And she should just be like, I'm going to give you these. And at this time. Mm-hmm. Like, on my birthday, we will drop Reputation or my album, or debut or both.
Yeah. It feels like though, like debuts, she said debuts ready to go.
Yeah.
So we'll get that at some point.
I want it now.
I do find it interesting.
Please tell her now.
I do find it interesting though that she was so open with us about it, like in that letter, because okay. Why all the snake paraphernalia? Why is she wearing snakes? Why all this stuff?
Yeah, all the snake stuff
leading up. All these little like bits that she knows gets us riled up. That feels mean.
Yeah. I mean, she was doing something, it felt like. And I mean, was it because she was buying them back? Like, she was in the process of a business deal? I don't know. But the amount of clowning we've done is extensive. And to know that was never going to pay off is sad. It was like this sadness that the game is done. And we were so close to completion of the game. It kind of feels like we were playing like Jumanji and she put the board away before we were able to get to the end. So we're stuck there till someone rolls a 5 or 8 for the rest of eternity. Like our headspace, we didn't get to complete it. Like the arc isn't done. Even though I know everyone's going to be like, this was the goal all along. Okay. But our goal was to get the new tracks that were never released.
Yeah.
And collect them all.
And collect them all. We're not done collecting. Chrissy said, I don't think she would have told us debut is done and that there are rep vaults if she wasn't actually planning to release them. And then, I think she proved. Tamara said, I think she proved to us, them and herself, that she could do it. It was ambitious and unprecedented. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Metal says she's never letting us out of our clowning era.
Yeah. Tamara says that the clowning era keeps us engaged, though. So I get it from a marketing perspective. Yeah. But we've been so engaged for so long. And we will continue to be engaged for Taylor Swift 12. And I have some stuff about Taylor Swift 12. But Shot says it's giving did all the extra credit but got graded on a curve. Yes, it is. It really is. We did so much extra credit.
Yeah.
All right.
I do think do think though, someone said in the chat up here that like she could hate Joe. Where is it? She could hate John again, re-fall in love with Jake, but Joe is too painful. Joe was not too painful. It's too new.
It's too fresh.
It's too fresh.
I think they were all very painful for her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Joe is still fresh. And
she doesn't have perspective on it to be able to re-fall in love with those songs about falling in love with him while still being hurt inside. And mourning,
yeah, she just
and
doesn't
grieving.
Have the time she hasn't had the time to grieve it properly, to be able to go to it without feeling the pain again. So hard, and now since she's in like a relationship with Travis, maybe she feels kind of guilty going back to something that's still so raw. Because I could see that it almost feels like she has to revisit those feelings of love when she's in a place where she really isn't ready to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because Christine and I were supposed to do another episode today, and it was like walking back through our 20s and like how we would rate it. And as I was getting to years where, like I was grieving, like I was getting emotional about it. So I was like, okay, I see it. Like I understand.
Yeah.
I think too, there's a couple people on TikTok who are like, literally pulling lines from different songs, and then they're like, yeah, no. I don't see how she could. They're like, you guys think she could really re-record that and have the same intonation? or same feelings behind it.
Yeah, especially
after
right
Joe.
now where it's like it's still kind of new. Like she has 10 years on the other ones. You know, like they're 2017 is when she put out Reputation, and she broke up with him in 2023. So that's like a long time where she was very much a full endgame. She wanted to be endgame with him. Like this, yeah. I remember when this came out and I was like, oh my God, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to feel so sad for her because yes. These songs are so sure. They're so sure in so many ways. She's like, I'm going to marry you. When Lover came out, like, I don't think she could ever re-record Lover.
Nope.
Yeah, please don't ever become a stranger whose laugh I could recognize anywhere. Like, saying those words in this headspace that she's in post breakup is just gotta be rough as fuck. All right, so I'm putting on my clowning hat. There is a new header at the top of this letter. Now, Taylor Swift.
Wait, what?
TS12. Okay.
Oh, okay.
If we stay on the same schedule, would be due to come out next year. She typically would put out an album every 2 years. Most of her albums are separated by 2 years, except for the scarred time between 1989 and Rep. And then, of course, when we were in the pandemic, she has her sister albums. But her new albums were typically 2 years apart. Okay. And during the Tortured Poets department, it used to say like from the desk of Taylor Swift. But now, if you look at the header of her letter, it has like an Art Deco look, and it looks like it could be like a Super Bowl championship ring, or I saw a really good clowning reel that I actually was on board with, or it's giving like the Art Deco look of The Great Gatsby. I don't know.
It looks like an emerald cut diamond or something.
Yeah. Do you remember the promo for The Great Gatsby with all like the lines and the gold, the black and gold lines? Mm-hmm. Like she put these side by side in her reel, and it does really give that. And Taylor really does lean into the Gatsby aesthetic in a lot of her songs. So the theory is that would be the new aesthetic of the album that's coming. And I thought that was interesting to humor that because she does have a lot of references to Gatsby in her different albums. Like, This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things in Reputation. She's like, the whole summer was Gatsby throwing parties. We've got The Last American Dynasty that gives that era vibe in Folklore. We've got Champagne Problems that kind of gives that vibe, honestly, in Evermore. And then, of course, we end the Tortured Poets department. The last track is Clara Bow from the 20s. And there's kind of like this comparison with how as women get older, like they're the shiny new toy and then they get replaced. And she does this with like different eras. Like she kind of tests out like the vibe in her other albums before she goes like full aesthetic. Like with Rep, she did like I Knew You Were Trouble was the first kind of vibe of the sound that we got there, and that was on Red. And then Blank Space, of course, was really giving the tone of Rep. And then, of course, we got Rep after that. So I think this is like a viable theory. And the letter, if you look at it, it's looks like it's laying on the floor, and the floor is covered with glitter. So glitter on the floor after the party.
Oh, wow. All these things I didn't even pick up.
Well, I went hunting after I saw this theory about The Great Gatsby. But yeah, I feel like we're definitely moving on from the eras, you know?
Oh. I mean, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Taylor Swift.
And she's kind of moving out of TTPD and into her. Like, it does make sense that this kind of looks like a Super Bowl championship ring, because she also has had that kind of the So High School vibe. Like I could see her pulling that into an album, because she also really loves to do kind of like high school analogies and metaphors, and kind of pulling out the championship, like we won sort of theme. She could also do.
Yeah. To me, it's giving Art Deco.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Gatsby thing.
Yeah. But it does seem similar. I know, like, from the desk of Taylor Swift and TTPD, that I think feels very closely related to this, like, Art Deco theme, just because it, like, all the black and white, the sepia.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the next evolution, like, because that kind of feels like it takes place in the late 1800s.
Yes.
And then
like
this
Victorian
is kind
era.
of the early 1900s, 1920s.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we look back at her music before, like, what do you think is, like, the biggest, like, tonal shift she's ever done? Well,
I mean, the tonal shift to 1989 was, like, she did have eggs in red. Like, I Knew You Were Trouble. Like, that was a tonal shift for Taylor Swift. But then going back from Reputation, or Lover even, that's it, Lover to Folklore was a huge shift too. But it was kind of a shift back. Like it was a shift back to feeling more country, but it was folk. And I don't know necessarily if it would be like a tonal shift so much as just like, you know, she has her aesthetic for each album. Mm-hmm. So
that's true.
An aesthetic shift. Did you see the pictures of her from going out to dinner with Selena? Like her hair looked like it used to look during the Folklore era. She had like her bangs were kind of like curly and messy, and her hair was like pinned up in the back like she used to for Folklore, when it was just like a messy pinup.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw this. And
it's like a drop waist, which is also fueling the fire of Gatsby era.
I'm looking at it right now.
I didn't like the outfit.
I haven't loved her outfit.
I loved Selena Gomez's outfit. She was wearing like this camel colored suit, and it looked awesome.
I find it I think I saw somewhere someone posted a TikTok, and I just scrolled on past, and it was like Taylor Swift and Blake Lively aren't friends anymore, so Blake was like styling her, and now that's why she looks like this. I'm like, bullshit.
No,
like
she
that
has
is so not true.
That's not true at all.
Oh God,
there's no way.
There's no way Blake was styling her.
Taylor, yeah. Mm-hmm. No. But you know, she does lean into like whatever vibe she's going into with her music into her whole look. So
then why all the snakes for so long?
That's the thing. Like, what was she doing? Was it just to fuel our clowning?
I don't know. That's how it
and
feels
the plaid,
like.
there was a lot of plaid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It feels mean.
I don't think it's it. I think she had some sort of plan. Maybe it was derailed by her getting her master's back. Maybe she feels weird about it now. Yeah. But she was wearing a lot of plaid and like leaning into the vibe we wanted to think was rep. And like the change of her rep outfit when she came out with the gold snake, like I feel like she almost though held on to her old rep outfit for so long to kind of, that was her message to us, that like it hasn't changed and like she hasn't renewed it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that set always had the same outfit that never changed color, never changed anything. And that could have been her saying that like she doesn't think she can change that or improve upon that. It's the same.
Yeah.
But then she did walk out with the gold.
Well, because she had to, because all the sequins of the red
were coming off. I know. But she could have gotten a new red one.
That is true.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I'm sad. I want her to release it. Just release Taylor's version And then in parentheses, the celebration.
Someone said their idea is that Rep will be released on its 10-year anniversary as like a re-release celebrating the 10-year anniversary.
No, we're not waiting until 2027. That's fucking bullshit. No.
I mean, if she has debut that's already done, she's going to release that first.
I could see her releasing that like on her birthday or something, or on the debut day. I don't remember when that came out, but maybe that already passed this year. I don't know. I just don't want to wait anymore. I feel like it's kind of cruel summer to make us wait for these after we've been clowning, and then to tell us that she hasn't even had a plan post clowning. You know what? If I were in her shoes, right, and I got my master's back, I would have announced this with a drop of either the vault tracks of Reputation or debut.
Yeah.
And be like, this is a celebration now. Thank you so much for helping me get to this point. Like, it's because of you.
Oof.
That we're
here. Mm-hmm. And instead we got...
I don't know when they're going to come out. If they come out.
If?
She's teasing us. You know what I was looking at? You know that little paragraph where she's like, all the music, all the this, all of this, the this, the this. Mm-hmm. I was like, do they spell something? Because it spells 8 down the side. 8. And then there's an M. The last one's an M. Metal says, I need debut TV even more than Rep. I haven't listened to debut in so long because I wanted to wait for her version. So this exact same. Nicole says, isn't next year the 20-year anniversary for debut? I don't want to do this. Just give it to us. It is. It came out in 2006, and this is fucking ridiculous. It's too long. She didn't release... I don't like, I do like the things to come to a nice end. And this is just like, it's stopping right before.
It's being drawn out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like we can't move on to whatever's next.
Yeah. I'm still here at the restaurant, still staring at the corner eye on. Like, that's where we'll be until she gives it to us. And I'm totally for real. We're all going to be like feeling weird until we get it. Are we not? Like unfinished. Like people can pass and have unfinished business that they never got Taylor Swift's complete vault track versions.
Like we're just so close to having it all redone.
Yes. Ah! Nicole, I can see her dropping debut TV for the 20-year anniversary. Yeah. I could see it, but I say no. Give it to us now. This is so annoying. Don't do that to us.
Because it's like, I really want it to be done so that we can move on and just expect
about new music.
Newness.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I feel like this whole like, oh, when will she drop this and when will she drop that? Like, I just need it to be done.
Yes. I know. It's the clowning headspace. We want to be over it and just expect new music. Why? I don't want to do this anymore. And we can clown for the Eras Tour documentary. Yes. Like, that should come out by Christmas if I am her scheduler. You're making them wait too long, Taylor. Please. Please give us something. So yeah, because the Eras Tour chapter of her life won't be complete until we get all the Eras. This is why I was so convinced that last year she would give them to us, because you want to give them you want the chapter to end completely, and without all of the re-releases, it's not complete, because that's what started all of this. So, and then of course the documentary is just going to be an extension too, and I think you want that out before you put out any new music, so that's closed. So I would say, Taylor, if you're listening, I would say maybe right now, like next week, surprise drop debut. Like, this is a celebration. Thank you guys. Then come November, on the anniversary of Reputation, you're like, here's the vault tracks. Reputation is X amount of years old. I'm so happy I own it now. Then Christmas, she's like, here's the Eras Tour documentary. Happy Christmas. Next year, we have new Gatsby era Taylor album, Happy Love. Lover.
I love this plan.
Thanks.
This is a great plan.
Hire me, Taylor.
I
will schedule your life for the
Do you
fans.
think we could go the entire year this year without anything new from Taylor?
That would be very upsetting.
Because we're already in June.
Being so serious. I would be very upset.
We're all conditioned to expect multiple things from this woman a year.
I won't. As when these are out, I will be like every 2 years, Taylor will give us an album probably. Mm-hmm. That's what I used to be. Now I'm a crazy person.
She made us this way.
She made us this way. We are excited about your re-releases. You can't just say like, I don't know if I'll do it anymore. Anyway, should we move on to Marry, Kiss, Live?
Oh, yeah. I didn't put anything in there. Okay. Marry, Kiss, Cliff.
Yeah.
Christine. We're going to do fruits.
Okay.
I don't know. I want this to be good.
Okay.
Okay. If you were having a bowl of oatmeal and you could only put one ingredient in there or eat it separately or cliff it, the kissing is to eat it separately. Bananas, blueberries, or almond butter.
I'm sorry. What is it? Bananas, blueberries, or almond butter? Or is there some secret thing that you were saying eating it separately? Like, what are you saying?
I'm just saying, if you want to kiss something, it's an eat it. That's how we're gonna view it.
If I want to kiss the banana, what am I doing?
You're not putting it in the oatmeal.
And if I want to marry it, I'm putting in the oatmeal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm marrying the banana. I am kissing almond butter, cliffing blueberries.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
I am going to... I'm going to marry almond butter.
Okay.
I'm going to kiss the banana and cliff the blueberries.
Yeah, we both cliff blueberries because blueberries are so fickle.
And like sometimes they taste good, sometimes they don't taste good.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
the fickleness.
they taste like nothing.
That's the fickleness we talk about. And sometimes they go bad so fast. It's so annoying.
They're just mush.
Yeah. Ugh. All right, folks. So that was our episode today. If you enjoy this episode and you're new here, we do have a lot of other Taylor Swift episodes. We have one from our first season that was really fun, where we had our patron and friend Abby on, who has met Taylor Swift, and she told a story about like meeting her during the rep tour. And we also have breakdowns of TTPD, like crazy breakdowns from when it first dropped, a part 1 and part 2. I think it's like episode 72, 73, around there. So definitely go check those out. We should make a playlist of our Taylor Swift episodes because they're building up.
Yeah,
we rated all the vault tracks once.
Lots of T-Swift.
We've done a lot. So definitely hit those up. I will link to one of them here, but I'll link to the TTBD ones. Those are our most recent, I think, breakdowns. But we release episodes every Friday. Our podcast is edited by Emma Burton, Vergard, Natasha Polis, Christine Riccio, and Alex Polis. Our socials are done by Chloe Laverson. So make sure you are following us on Instagram at Those Forking Fangirls, at TikTok at Those Forking Fangirls, and of course subscribe for free on YouTube at Those Forking Fangirls. And our music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Traska. We will see you next time. We are off to go record Fangirl Tea Time, where we will be talking about when we were allowed to first start wearing makeup and the makeup that we first used and how we felt about it and all of that jazz. So it should be a fun time. All right, everybody. I'm Christine.
I'm Natasha.
Bye.